Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Welcome to Sugar Hill Art Studios. I'm Amy Murray, and I'm so glad you're here joining me for Art Snacks today. All right, so it's April, and the Flower Challenge is started. Who is excited about the Flower Challenge? I know a lot of you are already started. You've jumped in. You're doing your thing. You're sharing in the group, which is huge. You're using that hashtag. That's really important to do. Mostly because it will put everything under that hashtag within the group, so we can look and we can see what's happening, what's going on, who's putting what flower with what technique, what does it look like. I can see how many times you've posted in there to keep up with you and your challenge, right? Because this one, while we do prompts every month here at Sugar Hill, there's always 21, right? 21 times repeated will help you develop that habit. Plus, I don't want to overwhelm you with 30 prompts or making you do something daily. I think sometimes we tend to think, I can't do that. Or 21 seems a little bit more tangible. And you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. You can do it. You totally can do it. In this challenge, you've got it in your email. You've received it in your newsletter. It's in the group. It's here on the main page. It's everywhere, and continue to sprinkle that around to your friends and all over social media, because it gets more and more people in the challenge painting flowers, which means that we're filling the social media world with wonderful, bright, cheerful, awesome artwork, right? That's what we're doing here. There is a challenge. There are prizes. There's one grand prize. There's 2 other prizes I'm giving away. That includes Amazon gift cards and Happy Mail and some of my favorite supplies and all kinds of great things. So I see some of you are popping on. That's awesome. Thank you for saying hi. Love, love, love when you guys give me a hello. Remember, anytime through this, if you have any questions, if you're watching on YouTube too, you just put in the comments, ask your question. I do my best to get back to you ASAP. But this is super, super fun. Basically, if you're new, if you're not familiar, right, you grab a flower, you grab a technique, and you create. Then you have to cross it off, because you can only use a technique and a flower once. Then you can't use it again. It gets a little more challenging as you get down to the end, as you get down to the bottom, right? Because you're like, why did I leave, I don't know, vase, or that one's kind of easy. Why did I leave mint to last, right? And I'm stuck with mint and a geranium. But you're going to come up with some really cool things. This is going to push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. Anybody that's on live right now that is in Sugar Hill Creatives knows that I like to push you guys out of your comfort zone, right? I like to push you out of your comfort zone. So on the challenge, do I have to do it in a journal? Do I have to make a journal? No, but you certainly can. You know, I'm never going to deter you from making a journal and doing everything in that one. But you can do it on canvas. You can do it on little mini scraps that you have, because no flower ever goes to waste. I have hundreds of these little pieces of just random scraps and painted flowers all over my studio, right? You can do it in a big journal. You can doodle. You have all of your handmade journals that you can put it in, right? You can do some small, some big, do all the things. You could even make another accordion journal if you wanted. So there are tons of opportunities. There are just no rules per se. The only rule is post in the group, use the hashtag, and if you're sharing in the big world of the internets and webs, if you're sharing on social media anywhere, it's greatly appreciated if you use the hashtag, but also refer back to Sugar Hill Art Studios. All right, so I like to play. Sometimes I just start to play, and I love watercolors, right? You guys know that. I'll just play, and then maybe I'll look and say, oh, wait, let's do I could use this one as wildflowers and dripping. Or I could use this as a daisy and abundant, right? So sometimes I just feel like creating. I also am going to encourage you all to doodle a little bit, play a little bit. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques. I'm going to turn the camera down. We're going to get started because I only allow myself a half an hour and I'm already talking for 7. So let me flip things down. Let's get things situated and we will begin creating. Let's see. Oops, sorry about the bumpy ride. I'm going to flip you over so you can see. And I know it's a little wonky. I'm a little crooked today, but I think you're going to be able to see. So this is just one of my kind of just playful journals. It's a mixed media pad. It's the Canson. It's just the Canson mixed media. Oh, if I do it this way, it'll be right side up for you. Right, just the Canson mixed media pad. I have tons of these because sometimes you just need to kind of play. Now, it's not the best watercolor paper, obviously. You know, it's got some bumps and things. Look, on the other side was just making some pages. So, I mean, I might decide to use this, and this will be on the back side. This will make great paper within one of my journals, maybe, right? So I always encourage you to kind of play. I'm going to, in an attempt to save some of my plate. So this is 140 pound, this is 140 pound, this is 90 pound watercolor paper. And I think I'm going to just show you really quick one of my favorite ways to play. I've got actually, I don't have my favorite, but I do really love this koi. I've linked you guys to the Amazon link a few times. I think it's a great set. I've had it forever. You can see it is kind of starting to really kind of crack on me. But when I say I've had that palette for years, I really have. And I bounce back and forth from that one to others. So one way that I kind of love to play is just, I grab a big brush, whatever brush I have, and I'm just going to kind of throw some water down, right? Because we like loose watercolors. And then, I don't know, let's kind of just throw some color in here. Let's see what we end up with. Right? This is just play because that's what our journals are for. I don't know how often, my favorite upper pink, which is not in that koi watercolor set, but I'm thinking I definitely need it today. Right? So we'll just set that back over there. Just kind of getting things wet and mushy. Just kind of playing. This is one of my favorite palettes, is the orange and the pink. I really do love it. But we're gonna add a little bit of purple. I'm gonna be careful with some of this purple around, right? Because I don't want it too much in my, I don't want the purple getting right next to that yellow unless I'm really prepared for a more neutral color, right? Because they're opposites. We're just gonna kind of bring this over. And we're gonna bring this down. There we go. They're opposite on the color wheel, so when mixed together, right? Remember, when we mix opposites on the color wheel, we get that neutral. And while it's gorgeous and I love it, really, really do. I'm not looking for neutral brown gray when I'm painting flowers. You see that? You really do get beautiful neutral tones when you mix the opposites together. But when we're painting flowers, yeah, I'm not looking for that so much today. Now, this is the cheapest watercolor paper that I have. It is just 90 pounds, student grade from Blick Arts. It's nothing spectacular. It actually takes a very long time for those colors to absorb. Do you see how I'm just kind of... And everything started to fall that way, and I like it. Sometimes, if you have a straw, sometimes that works a little bit better. But why not have that be a little drippy, right? So let's get that drippy going there. And while it's dripping, I'm going to grab my other brush and I'm going to kind of get some good splatters in here just because I can. Right? So you see where it's wet, it's going to bleed out into the water. Where it's dry, I'm going to get those nice little dots, which is wonderful. I'm going to switch this up from the lemon. I'm going to go more with the ochre. And we're just going to do the same with some yellow. Just kind of setting up a background, and then I'm going to use my micron to doodle some flowers. And this very well may end up being my wildflower piece. Right? But even if it's not, gosh, guys, you could make tons of these. And, you know, really, they're never going to go to waste. They're never going to go to waste. Let me just dry really, really fast here. I am sorry. I hate using the dryer during art snacks. We're limited on time anyways, right? Kind of get that. Make sure I'm in screen. Now, if I take my paper towel and I blot off, I'm going to lose some of my brightness, and I don't really want to lose too much of it. So I'm going to try to get this dry quickly without blotting. We're almost there. We're almost there. You can see my paper curling like crazy. Like I said, nothing special here. No special paper. Looks like little feet. I almost want to draw a little bird there. All right, all right, all right. Quiet, quiet, quiet. There we go. Yeah, it's dry. All right, so then grabbing our micron, we can, if you have a reference sheet, so I can pull this back out where I was just kind of playing with some doodles, right? Some words: you belong among the wildflowers and born to be wild. Anybody think of any other great sayings to put with flowers? Put the comment in here right now. And that's always helpful to our fellow community, and I will be compiling a list to send out in the emails for you guys. Okay, so I'm very loose, I'm very whimsical, so maybe on the way I like to draw and play with flowers. Here, like I said, I think I'm going to stick more to kind of that little mess I've got going on there, but I love it. And so starting, I might just kind of, and so sometimes, right? And I like to see how I'm kind of going back and forth a couple of times. I like that kind of triple line in my flowers. And I don't do anything in evens. You guys that have been around for a while kind of know that. You know, I like to have some diversity, right? Let's do, if I do that one, and then I think I'm gonna run this flower a lot. Big center and little petals. It's a very whimsical, fun design, right? And I could put some dots in. You can use your Posca pens. You can go bigger. Have that one there, and I'm going to repeat that one over here. And I think the more lines we have, and I'm going very quickly because I'm on a time crunch, but you guys, you know, can take your time. You can do whatever it is that you may want to do. We're gonna repeat this flower here. And so, and now some of you might take a lot more time on anything like this. Look, I got like the perfect stem there. Anyways, but I might actually pull my stem a little bit more this way. All right, and like a little bend, but these I like straight. And you don't have to have stems coming off of everything. Okay, so far we have 4 flowers. That's unacceptable. Oh, I'm just looking over here at some of the doodles I did, seeing what I might like. I do like a little droopy. Let's go here. I love right, like a cone flower here. There, and we'll probably do another up here. And we'll go this one this way. And she's running into some, it's a little damp up here. Can you see how my pen is not wanting to do all the things I want it to do? And let's go one more this way. Now you can always come in with more watercolors or markers or colored pencils if you want to after this as well. And like I said before, don't think every flower has to have a definite, you know, point or stem. We're gonna do this one more time. Right. We're gonna go across that way, and we're gonna pull that one down. Now I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers, and that might work. That might work. And so as not to take up too much time, let me just grab some of, let's mix a little green together because I don't want it too bright and I don't want it too olive. I want it somewhere in the middle, and I'm just gonna kind of whoop, whoop, whoop. Add a little, we'll do a couple of that color. We'll do a couple of that color, maybe just snake that in there. And then really lightly, we can sneak in some wisps of some leaves, right? Because we're playing in our journals. Play in your journals first, and then let me get all this mess out from underneath, just so it's not too distracting to you. had another here. There we go. Okay, right here is a great spot to write. You can bring in more color now if you want. So what if I want to kind of give a little yellow, a little more yellow in these, right? And I could totally kind of run off of my, I think I'm going to keep those more on the purple side of things, right? So we're going to kind of bleed that down. You see that? Oops. And I didn't wet this one first. See that difference? Having all that delicious water in there is what bleeds those over. So if we do that, and then we get in, right? Put some more pink in there. You're playing. That's what journals are all about. That's what challenges are about. Some of them are going to be literally awesome, amazing pieces that you are going to be like, ooh, I love that. I am so excited about the way that that came out. I want to make that a couple of times, right? And that's okay. That's good. That's what your journal's for. You've found colors that you like. You've done there. I'm kind of liking it. I actually like it a lot. And I don't typically like that brighter color, but I do here. And I'm going to get my brush really, really wet and kind of just splatter a little bit more of that brighter red on there. Okay, so then once this dries, if I want to go in and bring my black up a little bit more, I can. I can put a little word here once that dries. If I wanted to add more flowers, more little buds, I'm thinking maybe I can outline the leaves or leave the leaves kind of hidden the way that they are. And I do like them a little bit more hidden, but I do, I could kind of totally make a couple little, I don't know, extra little flowers in there if I wanted to. Build it up, keep it simple. All right. And so this for me will be probably wildflowers and could be sketchy. See, this is where I'm very fussy about my techniques. It could be sketchy. It could be splatter. It could be dripping. It could be, I almost have the full rainbow spectrum in there. Do you see where I am? Like, you can do so many different things. So let me flip you back up, see what's happening here. There you guys are. Hello, hello, hello. Super, super fun and simple. Did you see how quick that goes? And I'm telling you, my friends, if you have, like I said, that Canson, now your watercolors and mixed media paper and your watercolors on watercolor paper, and depending on which, level you choose, are going to do all different things. That's the beauty of art journaling. That's why we play in so many different things. Like if I was to come in and say mess with, say this journal, or even like these that we've made before, right? I have some jelly printed papers on here. I can watercolor on this and see what happens. I can watercolor on a separate watercolor sheet, right? And I could cut these out and create a different thing. The possibilities are endless. You can pick something that you've done, and I don't mind. I almost want some of that purple to bleed down a little bit. Super simple. The coloring is very different on screen than it is in person, but it's pretty cool looking. I think I'll let this dry again, and I might go over. I just grabbed my Micron 5. That's a little thin for this technique, as in it's not making as much of a statement as I would like. You could use your Sharpie if you wanted. You could use your Posca pen if you wanted. I think I would use at least in micron 8 just to get a little bit more, like really make that black kind of pop, I think. But I like the very light whimsical. These make great cards. These make great cards. All right, I have 3 minutes left to talk. Let me scroll through really quick and see if anybody has any questions. They don't always, the questions don't always come up when I'm live, but I will go back in later this afternoon and put it up there, okay? The ranunculus is very close to a peony. Some of them I had to Google. I actually did like a floral search on Google, and that's where I came up with, like I wouldn't have thought of a carnation, but I think that's an excellent one to paint. The allium, right, is kind of almost like, it's not like a dandelion, but it can't think like that wispy kind of very fine. To be honest with you, I don't remember what I can't even say it, ergeum. I don't even remember what that one looks like, but I must have thought it was cool when I was looking at the pictures. And I wanted to have some different, like we have to do some different things. So if you have some wildflower books, those are so fun to have. You can find those all the time in secondhand shops, flea markets. Go to your library and grab some books, or just do a general search on your phone. And see, you know, what images come up. Nothing says, like one thing that I noticed is God really created a lot of purple flowers. There are a lot. I always thought there's tons of pink, but there's a lot of purple flowers. All right. So, yeah, I do, Tracy, and you know that I do prefer letting my watercolors kind of dry naturally. So don't be afraid to lay out like 6 pieces of paper and throw color down. Play with blooming. Like blooming is when the watercolor kind of just spreads out, right? Again, it's going to react differently on the paper that you're playing on. This that I did just now is on very basic 90-pound student grade watercolor paper. You can look how it'll flatten out. I'm not worried about it not being flat. But the way it reacts here versus on some of my really nice watercolor papers is going to be very different. And that's okay. Like that's what we're supposed to be doing. And then, you know, doodle over the top of them is super, super fun. And we've done this technique. We found birds, we found we've done faces, we've done a lot of different things, but I don't want you to forget that because we're in a challenge, right? I don't want you to think that your end product, the piece you put in the free group or that you share anywhere on social media has to be, it doesn't have to be perfection. Because I want you guys, again, to enjoy the process and not worry about that finished product. That's art journaling. That's playing in mixed media, my friends. Eventually, you'll get to some beautiful pieces. You might be like, ooh, I really like this technique, and take it to a whole nother level. All right? My point with Art Snacks and 30 Minutes is to introduce you to new and fun things every single Monday at 12:30 Eastern so that you can take it and let it you can kind of play with it. Now, the watercolor lilacs we've done, and I will end up probably sharing that video with you. We've done that here at Sugar Hill. Super fun. So bloom where you are planted is always a good one. Yes, I think I write that a lot on my things, but keep throwing out those like floral quotes and verses and sayings, and I will definitely I'll probably in the free group start a feed on that so that we can I'm writing it down. Can I write and talk at the same time? I don't know. It's Monday. Bloom where you are planted. Apparently, I cannot write and talk on separate subjects at the same time. The more we can put together, the more fun it is. It's super fun to be able to add some words and some quotes always on your pieces. And remember, if you have scrap papers, like if you have just extras from cutting down, making journals just in there, or take a piece of paper and you have a frame sitting somewhere in your living room or in your kitchen, in your bedroom, or you have space in your bathroom, my friends, or go to the dollar store and get a 5x7 frame. Cut paper down to 5x7 and put your artwork in there with your little quotes and your handwriting, and love that every morning. Be encouraged by yourself. Flowers, I'm telling you, Lori, they're more simple than you think. And it's okay. Like what I just did here was very, very basic. And taking that very basic shapes makes beautiful flowers. Don't think we're doing anything perfect. You can. I know some of you are amazing floral painters, and I can't wait to see that. But it's okay to be very basic. Okay? All right, my friends, thank you for joining me at Art Snacks today. If you have missed it, if you want to rewatch, if you like the YouTube platform a little bit better, by all means, make sure you're subscribed over there. There's a link here to join the email and newsletter because things are going to keep rolling, and that's where you will get, in the newsletter is where you will get another word printable. It's where you might get a doodle cheat sheet, all those things, okay? All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for those of you that have sprinkled and spread the love around on the social media platforms. Greatly appreciated. Every little thing helps all of us small business peeps. All right, you guys have a great Monday, and I will see you soon. Bye.